Good morning, everyone. How are you today? I hope you're having a beautiful day. I was just on my morning walk and I had this download come through, and I wanted to share it with you guys because when I get these messages, I really feel like it's important for me to share them with everyone. So as we shift into this new era that we're in now, right? We're in this new era, we're in this new earth, and we have to remember, this is what came through. We have to remember where we came from. We have to remember where the judgment comes from. And we have to remember that at one point in our lives, in our history as humans, we used judgment as a survival mechanism. Seriously, think about it, guys. I was just thinking about how out of all religions, it seems like, and I'm saying this with a loving heart and no judgment, I'm just observing, like I'm that loving, observing presence. Like I'm not sitting here trying to pick on people or make people feel bad. I'm just trying to shed light on some things that are coming through. Catholicism is a very judgmental religion, but hold space for me while I speak. Think of how the religion was formed. Think of how witches were treated. Think of how Jesus was treated for speaking his truth. Think of how our history is played out, right? If you spoke your truth, if you tried to be that presence and connect people back to nature, you were literally killed. So we used judgment as a way to survive. We judged others before others could judge us out of fear that we would then be judged and ultimately could be killed. Like that's how serious it was back then. And so we have to really take that into account when we think about people and judging others, okay? Because this is an ancient wound that's been passed down from generation to generation to generation. That survival mode, that fear of judgment, that fear of I'm not going to be loved and accepted for who I am, has been passed down from generation to generation to generation. How do we break out of it if we're judging each other out of fear of judgment of another? It's a vicious cycle. And we're literally judging each other before the other one judges us out of fear of judgment, out of fear of rejection. How do we break out? With loving awareness, with loving presence, recognizing that these are our ancient wounds that must be healed. And if there are certain people in your life that are too judgmental, there's no reason with not being around them that often. There's no reason why you can't love them from a distance, like a porcupine. That's what I say. Anyone who does your energy any kind of harm, you know what I mean? You can love them from a distance. You don't have to love them in your everyday life. You don't have to have them in your everyday life if they drive you crazy. You can still make a huge difference just by loving from a distance. Yeah, that's what came through today. Like, think of where we came from. Think of that judgment, that fear, and how we were literally killed if we spoke our truth. If we connected back to nature, we were murdered. Like, we were murdered when we said that we were one. We were murdered when we said we were tortured. We were like, you have to think of our past. And then when you think about that, you can hold a space of love for the people that still judge, that are still sleeping, because they're sleeping out of fear. Because we've been told that the unknown is wrong and that it's something to be scared of and fear. When in reality, we're supposed to be embracing and the unknown and having faith that there is something better than what we know. Because we are here to create this change. And the only way we can do that is by believing that it can exist. And each one of us is the creator of our own reality. So try to create something beautiful for yourself today and every day, you know, every single day. I try to wake up and set an intention of connecting to source and being that loving presence and trying to carry it throughout my day, not vainly, but just in love for not only myself, but for everyone around me, recognizing that we are all one. I love you guys, and I hope that this message somehow reaches you and touches you, and you're able to see something that you didn't see before. Happy Monday.